Hello and welcome to Aviation Weekly, the podcast where we discuss all the latest aviation news. Today we'll be discussing a 737 MAX has a new issue on its list, and the Airbus has come up with a new concept, and we're going to be discussing how the coronavirus has been taking a toll on aviation, how we feel about the A380's retirement.
So I am JJ Skippy, the co-host for this podcast, and then that was James Aviation that was just speaking, giving you a bit of a list on what we'll be talking about. We'll be talking about more things. That's just kind of a few that we'll be talking about. So I think, since it's at the top of the list, we'll talk about the fuel tank issue that's been found on the 737 MAX.
About a week ago, there was being an inspection of the 737 MAX, and they found debris in the fuel tank, which is another setback for the 737 MAX. Do you think it will ever get in the skies at this point in time?
Well, that's it's kind of hard to say at this point, but the issue is it doesn't look like it's going to change the company's belief that it should be able to fly again, maybe by this summer or the fall, but still unsure of when it's going to fly. I'm not sure if it will this year in terms of commercial service, but if they can get some certification flights ready by the summertime, then I think there's a good chance that they could get this up in the air as soon as possible.
Yeah, this is really affecting those carriers that use the 737s, like Ryanair and Southwest.
Yeah.
So I think Southwest and Ryanair could agree with Boeing and you that they're trying to get the plane up in the air as soon as possible, because they bought a lot of orders and now it's going all to waste.
Yeah, pretty much, but hopefully this fuel tank issue that shouldn't further delay the time frame for the MAX to get back up in the skies. That's what Boeing's spokesperson has said related to this incident.
All right, so let's move on to Airbus's new concept, the Airbus Maverick. I think it's a quite unique design, if I should say so myself.
Yeah, definitely. So if we can get a little more information on that. Right now, it's just like a small-scale model. It's basically a demonstrator at this point, but the aircraft is basically, it's just a blended wing body design, and I think it looks pretty unique. It's something similar to what KLM did many years ago. I mean, if you've seen those photos online about the...
We'll put a picture up for those who have not seen that post on Twitter right now. Do you think this plane will be able to go supersonic?
I don't think it might be able to at the moment, but I think because what Airbus is saying that they're pretty much focused on fuel efficiency. There's no like specs related to speed or anything right now, but I mean, I don't think Airbus's goal is to get this to become supersonic like the Concorde many years ago. I mean, we've pretty much done away with supersonic travel now because, well, if you go supersonic over a heavily populated area, that causes major problems. So,
yeah. And quite off topic here, but have you heard about that Boeing 747 that went across the Atlantic in only 4 hours and 56 minutes?
Yep, that was quite an interesting feat. It was one of those big storms that hit the UK. I believe it was Storm Ciara. Major jet streams across the Atlantic. It shoved that aircraft at almost supersonic speeds. In fact, it probably was supersonic speeds over the Atlantic, and then it arrived in just under 5 hours. So maybe some passengers were brought back memories of the Concorde back when that was flying.
Alrighty. So now we have Qatar Airways cargo delivering supplies to prevent further spread of the coronavirus. I think this is a good feat on Qatar Airways' half. How do you feel?
I feel like it's a pretty good thing, yeah, for sure. because this coronavirus, it's destroying some people's lives, and it's destroying other people's lives too. Because while the fatality rate is pretty low for the coronavirus at this time, it's like 2-3%, I think. Still kind of risky to travel right now. That's why personally I've just made the promise to not travel on a plane right now until this whole coronavirus thing gets taken care of. But yeah, as of right now, about 75,000 cases and then over 2,200 deaths, according to an article I'm reading related to the Qatar cargo supplies.
Yeah. I don't think the coronavirus is something you should have to worry about. If you have traveled to China or around there.
Yeah, but we have seen airlines cancel flights already. Happened quite a few weeks ago, I think, at this point. But
and Cathay Pacific laying off workers for 3 weeks.
Yep, Cathay Pacific trying to do something there to prevent that spread even further. All right, so let's move on to the next topic. We got the A380 retirement and how one has been made into metal tags.
I don't know how I feel about this because I don't know why they're retiring the A380. It's obviously for fuel efficiency, but like the A380 was the first double-decker in passenger travel, I believe. So,
I think
I don't know how I feel about it.
The 747 was first. The first double-decker was the 747, but the A380 is like the first to have a full upper deck.
That's what I meant, yeah.
Yeah.
And I think Airbus did good making it into metal tags. So those aviation enthusiasts who are sad to see the A380 go, they could just grab one of those.
Yeah.
And always have one of them.
Yeah. I actually have a one of those metal tags myself. It's actually from a different aircraft. I have one from an Allegiant MD-80 back when they had those. They retired those in November 2018, and I got it last March, so March 2019. It's pretty cool. I would definitely recommend getting those. Only thing is they're a little bit on the pricey side. Yeah.
Anyways, we move into our next topic. The Gemini jets are ending service.
Yeah. Yep, Gemini Jets is indefinitely halting production on their models until further notice. And can you guess why this was caused? The coronavirus outbreak. Yep, so
really?
Yeah, they make their models out in China, and this is just to prevent that spread further, because if I don't know if this is true, but if they bring products over from China to other countries, I'm not sure if the products will become contaminated with it. Chances are it probably is. So, yeah.
I say that was a good idea on Gemini Jet's behalf.
Yeah.
But I heard Aviation 18, one of those YouTubers, they got blocked by them. Our next topic is England's major storms have been affecting a lot of travels, causing a lot of delays and cancellations, and how weather can affect aviation.
Yeah, so recently we had Storm Dennis impact the UK, formed on the 13th of February and then dissipated 6 days later on the 19th. 6 fatalities reported with that storm, and about 26,000 people were knocked out of power. But yeah, definitely can have some major effects on air travel.
And right now, I heard a country was having some dust storms. I forget which country exactly, but that's causing major cancellations.
Yeah, I believe that was out in the Middle East.
Yeah, that can really affect aviation because if you have a lot of delays, that means there's going to have to be charter flights to get those to their destinations.
Or we'll have passengers, misconnecting flights. That definitely happens a lot with these storms, but
anyways, our next topic is Delta's Airlines Thank You slogan.
Yep, so Delta Airlines received a new Airbus A321 jet, and they painted it into a special thank you livery for their 90,000 employees.
Yeah. And they set aside $1.7 billion, if I'm not mistaken, and they gave bonuses to their staff, which I think every airline should do because they work so hard. And those pilots, flight attendants risk their lives every day just to get us to our destinations on time and safely.
Yeah, I mean, you definitely have to appreciate those that work for the airlines. They are the ones that keep everything running. And the pilots, they keep those planes.
Even the ground crew.
Yeah.
You can have ground crew.
Yep, you got those. You got those that handle the baggage and those that guide the aircraft to the runway. And yeah, definitely appreciate those people.
Yeah. We have number 10, the Istanbul runway overrun recently, and how that's going to affect Boeing.
Yeah, that was the Pegasus Flight 2193 overran the runway. Accident still under investigation at the moment, but yeah, very scary situation.
I heard there were some fatalities.
Yes, that's correct. Three fatalities were reported on that flight. I mean, the injury number, I remember seeing it like 50-something at first. Then it went up by to 100, and then it went up to 150 again, and that's when they reported some fatalities. So pretty much the majority of people on board were injured just because of that runway overrun. And I mean, if you look at the photos on social media, you'll see that the plane, it broke up into 3 separate pieces, if I remember correctly. So,
and there actually was an overrun at that same exact airport a few months or years ago. Can't exactly touch my mind on it. So this might be the airport's fault, this might be the plane's fault, this might be the pilot's fault, this might be Boeing's fault. We still don't know yet.
Yeah. As I said earlier, that accident's still under investigation, so we'll have to wait for official information on that. And then our final topic is the 777X, or the 777-9, as it's now known.
I think this plane will be successful if Boeing puts their time on it. Because when they were working on the 737 MAX, they wanted to just rush it out there.
Yeah.
And get that money.
Yeah, whereas this
Unlike
is...
Airbus, they get more money because it's more safe because they're putting more time in it.
Yeah. I mean, the 777X, it's a really good-looking aircraft. I do love the folding wingtips on it, and I did watch the first flight of it live. Yeah. I tried to watch it on Friday, but of course the weather was just not cooperating, so I had to watch it on Saturday. Fortunately, I got to watch it from home. But yeah, I think the 777X is going to be pretty successful as long as they can handle this correctly and it doesn't turn into another fiasco like the 737 MAX has at the moment. But as we did see when the second MAX crash happened, that's when they were planning to do the public rollout for the 777X, but it just turned into an employees-only event, and yeah, but it did. The photos did leak onto social media, so at least the rest of the public got to see the aircraft. But hopefully it will turn things around for Boeing because they definitely need some good news.
Boeing, I don't know if the airlines will exactly trust Boeing at this point in time. They might be hesitant to order the 777X. But like I said, that all comes with Boeing proving they took their time on the aircraft.
Yeah, I mean, but you have to think that the 737 MAX, it's just one aircraft out of the several that they have in production, like the 767 freighter, the 777, the 787, and so on. I mean, it's just one aircraft, but they are, all produced within the same time frame. But yeah, I don't think I don't think that many customers are going to be that hesitant to purchase other Boeing aircraft like the 76, 78, or even the 777X. But it all we have to kind of wait and see where this MAX crisis goes. But hopefully it doesn't go any further downward because Boeing does not need any more bad news.
Yeah. I just remembered what I was going to say. For the weather we were talking about earlier, if you watch Big Jet TV, do you watch Big Jet TV?
Yes, I do.
If you were watching their live streams during Storms here, you could see that there was a lot of togas. I even made a joke that day that the most common word
Yep.
in those cockpits during that day was toga.
Yep.
So if you haven't already, go check their channel out. It's super fun.
Yep. Yeah, and then for the folks at home who don't know what toga means, it's just take off, go around. So it's essentially just a go around, pretty much.
Yeah. All right. So we have come to the close of our first ever podcast. As JJ said earlier, his Twitter is at JJ Skippy 2, and his YouTube channel is JJ Skippy. My Twitter is all lowercase aviation _James. We have come to the end of this podcast. We're going to be posting a new podcast every single Friday.
Yep. And
unless there's an exception.
Yeah, so every Friday we'll be posting a new podcast covering all the news that happened over the past week. So I think this will be a fun thing to do. So hopefully you guys are excited for it. And if you are new to the channel, make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications. Hit that bell when you subscribe because you don't want to miss any of these podcasts. It's going to be fun.
Oh, and follow our main Twitter, which has all of our moderation staff and all of that, which is server diversion. On Twitter, we'll be posting a lot of aviation news and diversions on there, so make sure you follow on that and don't miss out.
Yep, and again, that's at Server Diversion or Diversion Server, and we cover the latest in aircraft diversions that happen across the United States and the world.
We'll be signing off for now, and we'll see you next Friday.
We will see you next Friday. Thanks for watching.